Hi, everyone. Welcome to the weekly review of my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. Balance on the account is $209,797.64. Now, if you reference my last week's video, this is a insane jump in balance from that video. Clearly, we just went through a presidential election with Trump getting elected as president, and the American people seem to be very happy about that and feel very confident about the future of this country. So the stock market reflected that. I was really surprised by the growth this past week, but I would be dishonest if I said I wasn't also very happy about the growth. One of the points that I've made in just a lot of my previous videos is that the stock market hasn't necessarily been beneficial to me to date because my portfolio balance, the reason why it's at that balance is because of my contributions. It's not because of the stock market. The stock market has given me minimal returns, if that. So the overwhelming majority of the balance of my portfolio is, again, my contribution. So this is the first week where I felt that the stock market was actually useful, and it's all because of Trump, right? It is. That's the truth. And also, I know the Fed cut interest rates as well, but wow, Trump really helping the portfolio, well, helping all of us, right, or right or wrong. We're all benefiting from the gain in the stock market. So let's go ahead and look at how it all went this past week. This past week, the portfolio was up $8,694.64, or 4.32%. This is just, I can't even really talk through these numbers. I'm really floored to see this type of increase. Again, very, very happy to see it, but I'm just really shocked given my past experience with the stock market has not been positive. So let's go ahead and look at my holdings. I have 3 holdings. The first is VU, which is the S&P 500. That was up 4.77%, or $6,120.59. That's just 1 week. Like, wow. Then SCHD, which is the Schwab US Dividend ETF, that was up 3.49%, or $2,462.95. And then QQQM was up 5.49%, or $111.10. I did mention this, I think, in last week's video or a couple of videos ago, that once this balance get to about 220,000, I'm going to bump up my QQQM allocation to 2%. I'm really taking it slow with QQQM because it's just a lot more volatile than the other 2 ETFs. So I just want to go at a much slower pace with it so it doesn't completely derail my portfolio. All right, let's go ahead and look at the deposits for the past week. There was only one on November 4th. I put in $125. It all went to VU, and I got 0.23 shares. And that's it. That's all the money I had this past week to put in. And if we just go and look at the recap, so starting value was $200,978. Last week's video, I put that I was hanging on to $200,000 by a thread, which literally I was, like literally. And I thought this past week I was definitely going to go below $200,000, just given how things were trending. But no, the $125 cash that I put in, and then this amazing $8,000 plus growth as the value's now 209. Now, of course, this is the stock market, right? So next week, Next week, my portfolio could go below $200,000. You have no idea what the stock market would do. So it's so unpredictable. So I try not to get, I try as best as I can not to get too caught up on the numbers, but I do end up still getting caught up on the numbers because early retirement is something that I'm very much interested in. So the lower my portfolio goes, it just means the longer I have to work, which is so painful for someone like me that really just wants time freedom and being able to do whatever I want when I want. So this is amazing. Love it. Love it. If I could just have this for like another year, oh, maybe then I could retire. But that's a recap for the week. And then let's go ahead and look at the funding history. So to date, I've contributed $77,547 to my portfolio. The reason why I didn't say 81 is because there was like this accidental reversal that happened for $4,000, so I have to pull minus 4,000 from the balance. So as you see here, I put a crap ton of money into this portfolio. So yes, stock market has not been useful to me. So let's go ahead and look at the holdings. You see overall the portfolio is up 16.44% or $29,626.40. Again, this is primarily because of this past week's just surge. Like I've not seen this high of a percentage in gain or, gain value. It's just not been good returns for me with the stock market, but it's really nice again to see that boost. As you see here, the cost basis of the portfolio is $180,000. Cost basis means how much money I contributed, right? Out of this balance, $180,000 of it is my money that I put in. So this is why I don't give the stock market any credit in terms of my portfolio balance, because if I just relied on the stock market or if I heavily relied on the stock market, my portfolio balance would be nowhere close to this balance that it is right now. It's through my aggressive investing why it's here. But again, if this type of level of growth continues, my mind might actually start getting changed, and I might actually start seeing the value and that compounding, growth that is talked about a lot in the finance community. I will actually see it in my portfolio. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that we continue on this soar. All right, so the holdings, VU overall is up 15.94% or $18,506.77. SCHD is up $10,954.14 or 17.63%. And then QQQM is up 8.41% or $165.49. So that is all of the update for this week. It's green, it's beautiful, it's high green. I'm almost at $210,000 in the portfolio. Last week, I truly was considering if I had made the right decision, essentially depleting my emergency fund to put it into the stock market because, again, I did that. The balance went up to, I think, 205,000 at its highest, and then it just completely plummeted, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I should have left my money maybe in my emergency fund because clearly putting this extra money is not working. But now I'm very happy that I put the money in because this growth is great. But again, the stock market's so unpredictable. You can never time it. You just have to put your money in when you can and when you think is best, which for me, I just put it in. I don't time it at all. It's not like, oh, now that the stock market has soared, now that means I won't invest as much. No, like next week is a pay week for me, so I will be putting in a decent amount of money into the stock market. Not as much as I would in the past because I am trying to rebuild my emergency fund and my daughter's sinking fund for her investment account. So I have other priorities that I'm focused on, but the deposit will be over $1,000 next week for the portfolio. All right, that's all of the update for this week. We'll see how this new presidency works out. We'll see how it affects the stock market in other areas of our lives. And as Dave Ramsey will say, forget who's in the office, forget who's in the White House, focus on your own house because that's the one that ultimately matters. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just focusing on myself and my daughter and securing our future. All right, that's all of the updates for this week, and I'll catch you next week.